everything sports related. I've done work with print, radio, television. I'm also a creative media and film minor, mainly script writing, all really to enhance creative writing. And if you have creative writing, that translates to creative radio and television. It really is something that transcends multiple fields. A sports program, been in 4 years. So ever since I got to NAU, really sort of eased my way into it. So it started off with the Lumberjack. I was writer/reporter, then assistant editor, then editor for a semester. Then I went abroad, came back, got into radio, still did some reporting for the Lumberjack on the side, radio host in the mornings for a 2-hour show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, reporter for NAU TV, which varied multiple things: courtside reporting, pregame show, color commentary, play-by-play. So that encompassed a lot of different things. But yeah, it really all started with writing. Most importantly, really found out who I was. You know, it's the cliche, you go to college, find yourself something spiritual or goofy like that. When I was coming in here, very quiet person. You know, I wish I wasn't this quiet person so much, but it's just the way I'm built, where I have to sort of get comfortable in a certain area after a little while. And, you know, I think back 4 years ago, and it's a completely different person. Like, at least it seems that way to me. I think I could look at all the other things, such as what I learned as a writer, as an editor, being more comfortable on air, broadcasting. But really, I think what I learned most at NAU and through these programs was, you know, who I am and what am I passionate about. This past year and a half, I would say it's been the most challenging, because it's something I'm still figuring out, is just my voice and how I want it to be perceived by others, and listening back if that's my authentic self. I feel like writing, it's a lot easier to be yourself. You have time to write it, edit it, look back at it. On air, it's like it's one take, it's go. I would say finding that and being comfortable with it, and then owning that aspect of who I am and the voice I'm trying to project out. I mean, that's still something I've figured out, like I said, over the past 15 months or so, but still a journey.
Tony Romo's life is better than yours. Just in case you needed a reminder. You know, the guy that dated Jessica Simpson, Carrie Underwood, and then decided, you know what, I'll just settle with Miss Missouri. Yeah, that guy. His life better than yours. Just a reminder. Put into perspective, he's going to make about $1 million a game. He's going to be making as much as he did in 2015 as quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. He works 4 months out of the year. The rest of the time, he could just golf in Mexico. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't looked at his contract, but I'm pretty sure there's a clause in there that gives him $500,000 for every time he says, "Here we go, Jim." $500,000 the second he says that. Whose life would you rather have over Tony Romo's?
There's been a lot of accomplishments. I would say sports editor is really cool. I got the most online viewership for a single semester. I believe I helped bridge a connection between the student newspaper and NAU athletics, because I think it was a very important relationship to tie together. I can't even say I ever envisioned being on television. I didn't envision that for me.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Kade Gilliss. Hey, I'm your sports reporter, Kade Gilliss. And let's start off with a dominating weekend from NAU track and field.
You talked to head coach Lloyd Payne this week, didn't you?
Well, that's right, I did. I got to catch up with her. And as you guys know, there were not a lot of expectations coming into the season for the Lumberjacks this year. And now sitting at the number 2 overall seed, I got to ask Coach, were you surprised? And you can't stop this guy. Top 5 in the Big Sky Conference in scoring, rebounds, field goal percentage, assists. What can't this guy do is the real question.
Welcome back, guys, to this week's episode of Asking Questions. And I'm here joined by 2-time All Big Sky first team and NAU Volleyball's very own Heaven Harris. Heaven, how's it going?
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm joined here by special guest Amy Patton, former NAU basketball player, has completely rewritten the record books during her time here. Last year was in 2013. Amy, what's going on today? But something else I want to look at are these two quarterbacks. Kevin Thompson, as we know, he's still a game time decision. We don't know if he's going to be playing. That'll be huge for Sac State. But just take a look at the comparisons between him and Case Cookus.
That's something I wasn't really expecting. Go for it. Like, if I could go back, and I think that's the main thing that everyone really takes back, is the first semester. I feel like everyone can have that natural introvertness. I feel like that's a lot more common. I would say just going for it and just putting yourself out there, because the main goal for me this year was to leave NAU with zero regrets. Not going back and saying, I wish I participated more in this area or more in television and radio. I said, after this year, I won't have any of those thoughts. And I think that's the most important thing that you can do, is getting involved as much as you can. These professors and programs, they do everything they possibly can to put you in the best situation possible. I mean, they do things that most other schools wouldn't allow you to do until you're an upper class, like junior or senior. And the first 2 years, you're sort of just like learning everything. The unique thing about NAU is, when I say like embrace the opportunities you have, is you could get involved day one. I mean, you could do television, radio, writing from the jump. It's just whether or not you put yourself out there.